Coming up on Delmarva Sports Insider, the showdown. 4-1 Bennett taking on 4-1 Parkside. Bragging rights, city keys, and everything else in between on the line.
That's absolutely right. And still to come tonight, more Bayside action. Queen Anne's look to pick up a road win against Stephen Decatur. Highlights from Berlin are straight ahead.
That's exactly right. And two Henlopen teams vying for position in the Division II world in the DIAA, Milford and Laurel. Those highlights also later on tonight.
And with that, hello everyone. It's Friday night, and that means one thing. It is time for Delmarva Sports Insider.
That's exactly right. The only show here on the shore giving you in-depth analysis to all teams here along Delmarva.
And man, guys, do we have a show in store for you tonight? Not only is our fearless leader, Trayvon Miles, joining us back here, a bit of a hiatus for 2 weeks. Lots of football action coming your way right now.
Exactly
no better way to start off the show, right, guys, than with our Maryland game of the week. This one, really Parkside and Bennett, just up the road from here, not far.
That's right. So identical records heading into tonight. Trey, you mentioned it, 4-1 respectively. This was a showdown in Salisbury, and the whole town bought some tickets. Get your popcorn ready.
No kidding. Ram fam and bleacher creatures in full attendance. Parkside would get it first, and they would punt. Bennett, no, they're not punting. First play from scrimmage, Brandon Scholl hitting Braden Gushkakow up the seam. Gush goes 80 yards to the crib. Clippers lead it 7-0. Parkside answers next drive. Devion White, 2-yard dive, ties us up. We go into the half, tied at 7.
So first play of the second half, Parkside squib kick it. John Lowe takes it and goes 60-plus yards. Man, he would score to lead and put the Clippers up by that single score. And in the fourth, the Clippers put it on ice. Saquon Cotton, hear that name, keeping the legs moving, and he gets rewarded from 12 yards out. And how about the Bennett Clippers? They beat Parkside for a third time in 4 years. They go on to win 21-7.
Well, first of all, how about our defense? Held them to 7 points at Mammoth O-line, the great running backs they have. We just hung in there. We really did, and we got that great play by a junior on the kickoff. You know, that squib kick, we practiced it, catch it and go. No dancing, just go.
Our confidence goes up, to the roof. It goes so high, Everybody, all the fans and stuff, doubted us, thought we were going to lose. It's proved the point out here.
That's right. All you doubters, you've been put on notice. What did you guys see tonight?
Well, first of all, I want to say the young man, Saquon Cotton, when they really needed someone to lean on late in that game, I really thought he put the team on his back or on his legs and kind of carried them to the finish there.
I think we're watching the the leader for Bayside Player of the Year. You saw him right there in that interview. Several touchdowns, of course, through the first 5 games or 6 games of this season. And I think we're seeing a team that's starting to come into form a little bit. They can win late, which is huge. They were tied, score 14 unanswered, shut out Parkside in that second half. Defense stepped up, offense stepped up. So we're looking at a complete team right now.
Exactly right.
Not bad at all. All right, with that, let's send it over to Jonah Restuccio.
Guys, now we've all heard about Saquon Cotton and the year he's been having. And this play right here is our pivotal play of the game. Let's take a look at this tape. Fourth quarter, 4th down, 5 yards to go with a touchdown lead. And Cotton puts the team on his back and gets the conversion. And talk about a guy who has not only power up front, but underneath too. Look, he lowers his shoulder, hits the hole hard, and powers through the extra couple defenders. That's 5 extra yards that he's gaining after contact to keep the drive alive. Pure will by Saquon Cotton. He got touched in the backfield, but you just saw it there. 7 yards after contact. What a game for him. Really the play that brought Bennett their 3rd win out of the last 4, as you guys said, against Parkside. But that's not the only other game going on across the Bayside tonight. Let's take a ride up to the Ridge, where North Carolina having the tough test of stopping that guy, Ryan O'Connor, and the Warrior offense. But it's homecoming night for the Bulldogs. First quarter, Warriors defense had NC on their toes all night long in the red zone, forcing the fumble. So as they take over, O'Connor's going to hand off to Thatcher Knox, and he's going to see the Red Seas part. Wide open hole for him. He brings it into the attacking half. So the first quarter would end, and in the second quarter, Alex Stetcher-Scott with the field goal. So for the first time this season, the Bulldogs find themselves down 3-0 at half. And it's homecoming, right? Lineman Brendan Buda Gastoli named homecoming king. And I guess that's really the push North Carolina needed. Second half was all them. Ryan Bauer from 1 yard out. Bulldogs score 14 unanswered and take down Easton 14-3. And over to Berlin, Stephen Decatur hosting Queen Anne's. Seahawks coming out with a lot of energy. Cameron Bradshaw laying the hammer on third down. Look at that. QA would end up punting it away after they were forced to on the fourth down. So the Lions would settle in and take control later in the first quarter, capping off a long drive. Hassan Biggis takes it in from 2 yards out, 7-0 Lions. So in the second, more Biggis. This dude could not be stopped on the ground. He gets his block, hits the outside, and yeah, he's gone. He cannot be brought down as he finds himself into the end zone, juking players left and right. Big night for the senior as Queen Anne's moves back to 500 on the year with the 34-7 win. And from last night, we can't forget about this one. Y-High at home looking to stay in the playoff hunt and end a decade-plus losing drought to Kent Island. The Tribe would strike first. Jordan Briggs runs it in from 30 yards out. And then Khalil Evans, this kid just has a cannon, cocks back and puts it right into the arms of Josh Shockley. Y-High up 14-0 right before half. Kent Island, they would get some points before the end of the first half, though. Joe Garvey puts 3 on the board to make it 14-3. Second half, Kent Island can't get anything going. Matt Burnside picked off by Andre Matthews, and he's going to return it to the house. Pick 6 for number 1. That makes it 21-3, and then Evans this time with his feet. What a night for the senior. 2 total touchdowns, and Y-High gets their biggest win of the year, their first win over KI since 2007, 27-3. And over to Cambridge, Vikings hosting winless Washington. Start things off in the first quarter. Jaquan Ferrer finds Logan Middleton right past the outstretched hand of the defender. So CSD with the early 7-0 lead. And from there, they would just build on it. Ferrer this time on the defensive end. Pick 6 from him. Not 1, not 2, but 3 interceptions on the night for Mr. Ferrer. That would make it 13-0 Vikings. So back to the ground game. Cameron Lake on the toss. Not touched as he turns up the Jets to the outside. 20-0 CSD. This is still in the first quarter. And then Shamar Young, 2 rushes on the night, and he makes this one worth it. 38 yards for 6. 76-0 over the Jags. Guys, do we have any scores like that from the rest of our Bayside teams?
Not quite. I mean, 76-0 kind of speaks for itself. I will say, Cardinal getting to 3-3 on the year. They defeat Kent County by a final 24-13.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how this shocked anybody, this score right here. Nandua and Snow Hill, 39-19. Now the losing continues for the Eagles. Let's just say that dropping, by 20 earlier tonight.
Yeah.
So what is the big takeaway from the Bayside tonight? I mean, are we talking about, the Decatur game, Y-High, the rivalry there in Salisbury between Bennett and Parkside? What stands out?
I'm going to take it back to yesterday and how impressed I was with the victory that Y-High got over Kent Island. I also want to say Bennett, very impressive win tonight, but they have Queen Anne's and North Carolina on their schedule the next 2 weeks. We already know the North is tough. We'll see how tough Bennett is in the next 2 weeks.
This time in the show, we're usually just chirping about North Carolina and how they were able to play. Easton gave them a good test tonight.
They did.
We saw Y-High. That is a huge win for that program now moving above 500. We also saw Bennett also moving to 5-1. But I think we also got to talk about Cambridge. I saw the big score right there, but they're a team that didn't play that well last year, have a new head coach, and now they're kind of running the table a little bit. Of course, they're going to be challenged coming later on, but the Vikings playing some good football early in the season.
I'll say so.
We could talk all night, but as you know, we have to take a break sometime, right? So it's time for our first break here.
That's exactly right. And coming up, the Battle of Georgetown, Route 9 rivals Sussex Central and Sussex Tech go toe-to-toe tonight. We've got the highlights when Delmarva Sports Insider returns.
This is Glenn Hoot Gibson, Bennett High School's head football coach, and you're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.